Welcome back
to Islamic preacher and apologist. A very big hello and assalamu alaikum to you all. Now let's get to the video. Making most of life. This sounds great, but how can one achieve it? First, I'll be talking about those individuals that really do want to change their life or make the most of their life, but seriously cannot. And make no mistake about it, obstacles do come your way. And these riddles can be almost anything, such as having an illness, having a disability, having no financial means, or even the COVID-19. Today I'll be sharing my own testimony. Now, originally the title of this video was going to be called Suicidal Thoughts, and it was in inspiration to this particular actor's suicide, which took place on the 14th of June 2020, and it's exactly the same date as, I believe, Yasir Qadir's video. During the time period this happened, I was very busy creating another YouTube video on our beloved Prophet and Aisha. Then I actually dropped the idea, but now I believe it's important to discuss what I earlier wanted to discuss. Generally speaking, my life has not been very easy. Now, I know most of you will be saying, you should know my story. When you hear my story, you will forget yours. Everyone thinks the same. So how do you get to a true conclusion to whether that person or that individual seriously has gone through a lot or not? Look at that person's tolerance level. The more you're able to tolerate, it reflects on what you have already been through. I will just give you just one example to start off with. The way in which this channel of mine is running, I ask myself how I am still able to produce new content. And some of my videos are like 2 hours, 40 minutes. I ask myself how I am still able to put so much effort into them. There are those people with much better scoring than mine, much better position than mine, and they have seriously given up. And they have given up to such an extent that they're using other people's content, but not producing any new content from their own side. And I'm only talking about those people that have some 1,000, 2,000 subscribers. Life has been tough and very complicated and very tricky. Life and achievement-related things can be impenetrable. I guess one just has to live with it. Complex and knotty. And so here is my testimony. It so happened that I was walking past a car showroom when I suddenly glanced at the glass window and saw my own reflection. The glance converted to a glare when I noticed how much depression was beaming through my face. There is a general belief that if one wants to see their reflection, then the mirror is the best place. But here, it was the window that truly got me. The window reflected what my bathroom mirror could never reflect, and that was my inner emotions. There is a saying in my society that when your daughter grows, the first people, the first ones to know, are the outsiders. This is so true. There are things that outsiders notice that those that watch you daily don't see. I can tell you briefly what my depression was, yet not go too deep into it. There was a general feeling of lack of appreciation, or a lack of feeling of being wanted. Whatever I was doing and whoever I was connecting with was not showing any level of appreciation for me or my work. My thoughts and emotions became so deep that I began to think and believe that the world will be much better without me. Human beings can be very lonely sometimes, that despite having everyone, one can still feel that there is no one that truly understands me. I believe that social media and other options have destroyed our lives in some way or the other. Distant people know more about you than the person sitting right beside you, and that's a fact. When I returned home, I then began to reflect on myself and question why. I said to myself one thing: I don't want to be walking around in the world around me, with that sort of face expression. I need to learn how to smile. And this dates back to when I was somewhere around 17 or 18. There is a song in my language which goes like this: Tum itna jo muskura rahe ho. I will translate it in the order which is said. You, that much, that, smiling, are. Muskura means smile, gham means sadness, chupa rahe ho means to hide something. And now if you see that video, you would understand that I did not want to be the Shabana Azmi of that song, who is falsely smiling as soon as she walks home. I had to change my entire programming so that I'm not just smiling from the outside, but smiling also from within. My advice is, don't compare your life with someone else's or your success with someone else's, because everyone is different. Happiness is not situational, that some people say that if this happens in my life, I would be the happiest person in the world. And let's suppose this thing is marriage. You may not be satisfied with your married life. You need to realize that depression is an emotion which keeps you in a continuous state of ingratitude. So therefore, I had to change my whole entire programming. Now when I leave the house with a big smile on my face. But for that, I have to be thinking something positive and all the positive things that the Creator has given me. And when I started to think a little bit further, I remembered how I was just a few years back in my early teens. And I was very much like this particular character. If anybody wants to know how I was as an early teenager, then that's the song, which actually reminds me of how I was when I was 13 and 14 years old. In short, basically it is this, that never consider happiness as situational. You have to build this environment yourself. And you have to build it no matter which obstacle comes your way. Try to be a good inspiration to others. We all could make a difference. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. Take care and goodbye.